Okay. Good morning, everybody. I need to do a sound check first and foremost because I am using a microphone as opposed to the headphones. Uh, so yeah, if somebody could just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever about the sound, and then I'm gonna have to figure out about the speakers. I got a little different system going right now, so I want to make sure it could work out really well, but I don't know yet. I'm not sure. So if anybody can't hear me or can hear me, please let me know right away, and hopefully in the next minute or so, some people will come in. Today we're going to talk about boundaries. I got a little boundaries test that was sent to me by Sound like you inhaled helium. LOL. Hang on. How's about now? It should work quite well, actually, except for the lag. Okay. All right. So I guess for the moment we're okay. Woo, man. 30.96 Thai baht to the dollar. Fantastic. We're almost there. We're almost at 31. Let's hit 31, get over 31. That'd be fantastic. I'd like to let's get to like 31.5. And then that way there's a little bit of a buffer so you can keep thinking 31, 31, 31 instead of 30. That'd be fantastic. But 39.96 is great. Um, hey, what can you say? If you're getting US dollars or anything else, it means more money in your pocket for nothing, basically. The air quality 110, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups. And let's see right now. 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 10% chance of rain, 69% humidity, winds south 8 miles an hour, and already at 9:20, it feels like 100 degrees. So that should give you an idea of just how bloody hot it is out. It's just brutal. That's the best word. I always use it, but that's the best word. Visibility is 6 miles, so it's pretty good, and it looks like it's going to be partly cloudy for the remainder of the week. So that's what's going on here in Bangkok. Today we're not really going to talk about Thailand per se. We're going to talk about boundaries, and I've got Bum Gun Chuck coming in. I don't know who else is going to come in, if anybody. This is kind of a last minute stream. I wasn't sure that I was going to stream. I got a lot of things going on right now and not enough time to take care of everything, which doesn't often happen in my life. I'll admit it. So, good morning to everybody. We got a whopping 16 people in here. You know, once I stop doing the daily streams, all of a sudden I stop having 60, 70, 100 people watching. I get back down. Nobody knows when I'm going to stream, you know. And that's okay with me because I don't really want to stream every day because, to be honest, it's a bit of a burnout to stream every single morning. It's like being on the radio, and, you know, you got a full-time job and not getting paid for it. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Or getting paid very little, you know. But whatever, that's not the point. The point is that it is a bit of it's a little more work than you might think to sit here and do this, to come up with ideas and that kind of thing. So it's good I take a couple of days off in between streams, or, you know, 4 or 5 days off. It's good for the creativity. It's good for my mind. And it's just good for me. And sometimes that's what's important, how good it is for me. It's not always about you guys. Um, you know, what can I say? So we're waiting for Bum Gun Chuck to come in. I told him to come in about 5-10 minutes. but we're going to talk today about boundaries. And, this is one of the biggest things. And it's really not that difficult to set some boundaries. Um, oops, what did I do here? I'm on the wrong one here. Let's see. I'm going to put in the link to this boundaries test. Some of you might have already taken this before. Uh, let's see here. What does this say? Is your speed normal? Seems like you're talking a touch faster than normal, a slight chipmunk sound. Maybe it's just me. I don't know because no one has said anything else. Hey, Jim, how you doing? How you doing? You know who used to say that all the time? It's Joe Walsh. Walsh. How you doing? Anyway, that little boundaries test there is pretty. I think it's pretty accurate. I took it, and I don't have any problems with setting boundaries. Chipmunk. Wow. Well, let me see here. That's disappointing. How about now? It could just be the whole digital aspect of this, which kind of sucks. It could be that my laptop is older and it's not fast enough. I don't know. But I'm not going to get another laptop, at least for a while. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to pull off the. Uh, I'm going to have to pull this thing off here and not use it. Kind of disappointing. Alvin Mallon. Alvin the Chipmunk Mallon. This thing was out of commission. I had this thing. This is the Zoom H1. I don't know how. Why would I mind? I can't. I don't hear myself right now. Helium. Come on, Alvin. I don't want to sound like Alvin. Let me hang on a second. I'll change it. All right. That kind of sucks, but it takes. It's great audio for this thing, and it was out of commission because it was covered up with. I'm assuming somebody spilled soda on it, and that somebody was not me. But let me put some headphones on here. See if I can do this. You lost your manly voice. My manly voice? Yeah, I hear that all the time. You don't sound as manly as you used to. It's my microphone. See if I can fix this here. we go. Duh. All right. There we go. One, two, three. Jesus Christ. All right, good. That's working. Okay. User error. User had some technical difficulties, like lack of knowledge about this. Listen, let me just bring in Chucky right away. I want to know if we can hear him.
I can
Chucky.
hear you. I can hear you perfectly now.
Okay, and I
In
can
the
hear
beginning,
you.
there was no audio in the beginning.
I understand that. You know, what do you want me to say? I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's good. It's
It
good
kept
now.
muting the system. That's the thing. It kept when I was plugging this other thing in, it was muting the system. Um, I wanted to use this thing, this Zoom H1, which I've had for a long time, and I have been using it to record audio. But you can use it as a mic on your computer, and that's what I was trying. And so I didn't. I don't like having the chipmunk's voice. But right now I'm not using anything. I got no headphones, no nothing, nothing. Anyway, we're back. We're okay. It took me a little while. Yeah, what is with that weird looking mask?
It's an N95 mask. I
Didn't
was
look like
inside.
any of the N95s I had. It's got like a dick sticking out of it or something.
Gay.
Like a paper white dick or something.
It's a gay mask.
Yeah. Well, we know that already, Chuck. What's happening? You're a man out on the town. Why don't you show us around?
Sure.
It looks like a coffee filter. That's what it looks like, in all honesty.
Well, I went to different places. I was at Starbucks. How do you turn the camera around?
There's a little thing on.
Oops, I just turned it off. Where is it near? I see the one that says mic, cam.
No,
Check.
touch the screen on your phone,
Uh-huh.
and you should see for your camera like a little circle with something inside of it that you hit that and it will reverse the image.
No, I've seen it before, but now I don't see it this time. I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure
I don't know. Are you in the StreamYards or are you in your phone? Like your phone, is the phone showing or is StreamYard showing?
I see StreamYard.
All right, you know what you got to do? You got to go to where it says Cam Mic down at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
You click on that.
Yes.
You click on camera, and then there should be something that says front or back.
No, I don't see it.
All right. Well, just turn the camera around then.
Yeah, I'll turn it around.
That's another way you can deal with it.
Yeah, I'm in West Hollywood. I was at Starbucks, and then I went to get a slice of pizza.
A little bit down, Chuck. We want to see the road and everything out there. You go.
Okay, cool.
All right. Don't you feel like at risk there? Like maybe it's a little dangerous at this time of the night there?
No, there's a lot of people around here. Although there are robbers, but not that often. It's 7:35 right now.
But don't turn the camera sideways.
Yeah, I know. I had to look at my watch.
You're
to
like
tell
the
you what time.
Guillermo of what show is Guillermo on? Remember Guillermo or whatever his name was from?
I love him from Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, was that his name? Yeah, Guillermo.
He died.
You're like my Guillermo.
Yes, I am. I'm kind of like innocent, like Guillermo.
Yeah, right. I don't know that Guillermo is as innocent as he plays it off to be. but whatever. Anyway, good to have you with us there, Mr.
Yeah,
Chucky.
I'm walking home right now. It takes me about 9, 10 minutes to walk home.
Okay. Chuck is good morning there. Good afternoon. Good evening, Mr. Tom. How you doing? Chucky is protected by TCH. What's TCH? I got no idea what TCH is. You come up with all these acronyms, and there's too many acronyms in the world now. Way too many. All right. Well, listen, we get a little view. I'm going to put that. Let me put the view up here. Let me put Chuck out there first and foremost. All right. Now we can see what's going on there. We are Chucky. Where are you? You're in West Hollywood.
Yeah, West Hollywood. I'm near the corner of San Vicente and Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay. So all you other Americans, all you Brits, all you Aussies, all you whoever, wherever you're from, just hold the camera steady, Chucky.
Yes.
The phone.
And
You know, this is
you can hear car noise, but that's going to go away soon when I cross the
a,
street.
are you just holding the phone, or do you have like a little tripod thing?
No, I'm holding the phone with my hand.
Oh, Chucky, I'm going to have to get you a little mini tripod kind of thing so that
Yeah,
you have a proper way
that's a
to
good idea.
to do this. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So,
Is that a homeless person on the street sleeping there?
oh, there's many.
Oh,
They changed a bunch of laws in LA
uh-huh.
that radically changed the situation with homeless people.
Really?
They yeah, they changed a bunch of laws like businesses have to let homeless people sit in their at their tables. So when you go to Starbucks, half the customers are homeless and they
Well, we
stay
know
there.
about Starbucks, but
No, other businesses too.
yeah, I don't know that that would fly with me, Chucky. Chucky, you're froze up.
Huh?
All right, it's going now. For whatever reason, it looks like you got a little freezing going on. It's coming back. Five Guys. Never been to Five Guys in my life yet.
Oh, they're you know what? This place has really good hamburgers. Oh my
I have
god.
never been to a Five Guys or a White Castle.
I've never been to a White Castle either, but I've had White Castle frozen hamburgers from the grocery store.
Oh, interesting. Well, so how far are you from home?
Oh, I'll be home in 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I'm halfway now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to show where your home is.
Huh?
I don't think you should show your home,
Oh, I don't
until
mind.
you get inside.
Yeah.
You got security? Chucky, we're losing you, baby.
Can you hear me?
I can, but it keeps locking up. Your internet connection is not very good right now.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna have high-speed Wi-Fi.
I got it. I got it. Yeah. Well,
So,
interesting.
have you heard?
Talking to Chucky, Stoner Chuck.
Have you heard about the mass shooting of Asians in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, I did. And somebody asked a question about what do I think about the attacks on Asian Americans. Of course, it's not a good thing. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I think
Yeah,
it's fucking
it's really
horrible.
sad.
I mean, like, listen, just today it's Asian Americans or Asians, and tomorrow it's Caucasians, and then the next day it's African Americans, and then the next day it's some other group. So I think it's never good. There needs to be just leave people alone. What are you worried
Yeah.
about? What they're first of all, I've never understood this. Why do you care what people do in there behind closed doors? Second of all, okay, I'm different from you. Longhorns is different from me. We're all different in our own ways. So, what does it matter if we have different skin color? We have different, we different backgrounds. What does it matter? It doesn't. We have a different way of living, and you just let the people live. And as long as they're not getting in your way or starting problems with you, then live and let live.
I
That's the
agree.
way I look at it. And that's one thing I love about Thailand is that most of the time nobody ever bothers me here. I don't ever get bothered by Thai people where they are questioning what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, where am I going. It's only foreigners that do that. And quite
Right.
frankly, I don't care about them because they have no say. And really, most Thais have no say in what you do either. So what is it? C'est la vie? Is that what you say? But live and let live. Can the homeless hang out in City Hall, any government building, since it seems the California government infringes on business owner rights? Yeah, why are they allowed to tell people where this is the thing, you're not allowed to impose any boundaries.
Right.
Hey, listen, you're homeless and you stink. I don't want you sitting in my restaurant because you're going to drive customers away.
Right.
I understand the need to assist people in need and homeless people, of course. They've got to have something in place. And this is the thing. California, Chucky, I hate to tell you, but California is in a bad way. It's been in a bad way for a while. And get rid of Newsom. And I bet you things are going to start to change. Put somebody else in there who's capable and competent. And I have a feeling things will get better.
Yeah,
Look
but
at Texas and Florida.
California is such a blue state that no matter whoever wins an election, they're gonna be the same.
Well, here's the thing. How's that working for them?
They don't care. They don't perceive that at all. They
They
don't
don't
care.
perceive it. So
Yeah,
when a business owner, listen, Chucky, hey, go ahead,
they
cowboy.
think it's because they think it's because they're not doing enough of what they think they should do.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just
they're not
telling you how
doing
they
enough.
think.
They're not doing enough for the homeless. So why are more and more people homeless? Because they need to just give them money. Well, then where's the money coming from? There's
Right.
nobody working. Where are you going to get the tax money from? You know what I mean? And this is the problem with that kind of thinking.
Right.
I understand you gotta, you want to help people, and that's a good thing, um, and it's always a good thing if you can help some people. But sometimes people got to help themselves, and
Right.
you can't just let them. Well, I'm going to sleep inside a Starbucks all day. Starbucks can't do a damn thing. Listen, what happened to we reserve the right to serve any customer
Right.
or refuse service to somebody? What happened to that?
You know what's interesting though is that I go to Starbucks every day and I see the homeless people. I've become friends with them, with about 40% of them. The other 60% are too crazy to have a conversation.
Yeah, but Chuck, that's completely immaterial to the
No, I'm
subject.
just making a side comment.
Okay, but it's immaterial
Yeah.
because the bottom line is that if I owned a restaurant and listen, some guy comes in, hey, can I have a glass of water? Okay, here you go, pal. Whatever. But if the guy comes in and he's going in the bathroom and he's taking a shower in your sink every day, and and the customers are complaining and you're losing business and people are complaining the guy stinks or whatever, or I went in to go take a dump in your clean toilets and one of your clean toilets, and there's some guy in there washing his ass crack above the sink or something.
Right.
How is that a
Oh
good
yeah,
thing?
and the bathrooms are very dirty, and homeless people
Like a
stay
third
in the
world country,
bathrooms.
man. It's a third world country. Listen, you know what? I didn't mean to get on this subject, but you know what? There's a reason, as difficult as Thailand may be to some people, and it's not really that difficult for me, but as difficult as it might be to some people, they may think it's very difficult. It just seems like it's a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot more affordable, and you get a hell of a lot more here in Thailand and in other parts of the world. So then tell me, and I grew up hearing, America's the greatest country on the planet and blah blah blah. I think a lot of Americans have their heads in the sand, And they just, I don't like Trump. I'm going to vote the other way. Okay, well, look at what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
You got a president who can't even hold a press conference. He can't even say more than one sentence without calling the vice president president.
Oh, you saw that today. I saw that today. President Harris. That was funny.
And I'm not the most eloquent person. I will say that. And so, sometimes you say the wrong thing. But he is the president of the United States. He needs to be polished. Even if it is a raw polish like Trump.
But I like him though. So, but you have to understand something. I am, all of my life I've been a moderate because
you see, you're putting all these labels on it. What is he doing for the country?
Oh, I think there's things that he's done that I totally disagree with, and things that he's done that I
Okay, what
agree
about
with.
Trump?
Same thing. There's things he did that I don't like, and things he did that I do like.
So then, what's the difference?
I just go down the checklist and pick each thing that I think about, how I think, and that's what I do.
You want Kamala Harris to be your president?
I didn't hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know. I know you didn't.
Yeah.
Carlos, what day is it now? Chucky, you're in complete black.
Oh, sorry.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, black.
It's okay.
Black camera shots matter.
Huh?
I said black camera shots matter.
Black olives matter too.
I like black olives.
Me too. Love them. She is president-wise. Congress waiting to put her in charge. At least she's coherent. She seems to be, but who knows? Yeah, Carlos, what day is this for you now? Day numero 1 day, 22 hours left. Wow. Awesome. Man, I bet you're chomping at the bit now. If you're counting the hours, you're chomping at the bit. Chucky's going down a dark alley. Be careful, Chucky. Be careful. It looks dangerous.
I'm being careful. Oh, I got a package.
Woo, yes you do. It looks like Amazon to me.
Yes, it is.
Don't show your address, please. Corporations and government are basically one entity. The U.S. is looking more like China every day, and China is looking more like the U.S. every day. Hell yeah! Unless you get a false positive on the last day, well, then you're screwed. Why would you even say that, Longhorns?
Here, give me a 90-second break, okay?
There you go. You got your 97. He's just dying to see what's in that package. I don't blame him. Anyway, let me get back to this little story here. I've been looking into some gear because I'm thinking to myself, maybe I need a little upgrade or something, I'm very hesitant to ever upgrade anything. I mean, I've still got an iPhone 8 Plus, and what are we on now, 12? So what's that tell you? Besides the fact that I really don't have the money to spend on this stuff, and then when I have the money, I'm like, I don't really want to buy it. I don't need an upgrade. Anyway, I got this. This is the Zoom H1. It is not the Zoom H1N. It is the Zoom H1. And, I'm very hesitant to use this as a sound device because it means syncing up your audio, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Okay, but you do get great audio with this thing. However, somebody, and I think it was Alex or Nicholas, or the cat, or something. I don't think it was a cat because we probably didn't have Sid at that point. But the thing got covered up with like soda, and it was sticky everywhere. The whole thing was sticky to where I was like, I don't even want to pick this thing up. And so I was getting ready to chuck it. I was like, man, I can't clean this stuff off. It's not coming off. I used some dish soap and other stuff. And I was like, let me just keep it around and I'll figure it out. So I decided to try alcohol. Okay. And I mean, this thing was saturated with stickiness everywhere. Okay. And don't put your minds in the gutter. It was like soda pop. All right. So I got some paper towels and I saturated them with alcohol and I let them sit for a little bit. And then I wiped off this thing. And then I put a little more uh, directly onto this thing, a little more alcohol, and it worked perfectly. Everything is cleaned off now. It's not sticky at all. It's like almost, I want to say brand new. But anyway, so this thing, I've been using it lately for sound, and I was surprised to find out you can use this as a microphone. And I've been thinking about getting a microphone for quite some time, and I haven't got a microphone because I just keep thinking it's not like I'm Howard Stern and I'm making millions and I can afford to do it. What do I really need one? Because guess what? Most of the time, unless there's a user error like with me, um, where I don't know what I'm doing, the microphones they work fine. I'm using the internal mic of Mac right now. Um, And so, yeah, well, you shouldn't sound like a prepubescent teen. So anyway, bottom line is this is for use on top of the camera as a microphone, uh, as a recording device, but as a microphone, it doesn't seem like it cuts it. And the thing is I'm hesitant to buy a microphone for my Mac because my Mac is older and you only have the one plug, so it has to be a USB mic, and it's just all this. That's what I mean, man. It's such a headache to deal with this. All right, let me get back to this. Your honest opinion: when will vaccinated Americans be able to enter Thailand normally again with minimum quarantine? Can we talk about that? Well, we have talked about it, but yes, we can talk about it for a minute or a couple of minutes. It doesn't seem like Thailand is, in any hurry to become vaccinated because they're talking about people coming in here April 1st. Well, it's March 19th, and they've got to vaccinate people in Koh Samui and Phuket, and I forget the other place. Maybe I don't remember. Krabi. And they're not going to allow people to come in without a quarantine until the Thais are vaccinated. So I'd say October 1st is a good starting point, but even that is going to be somewhat limited. So I'm going to say the beginning of next year or the first quarter of next year is when things will get back to normal. But people are still going to be wearing masks, which sucks, and people are still going to need insurance, which is very expensive. If you figure out it's $1,800 uh, a year for the insurance for COVID insurance,
Wow.
that's expensive. And then you're going to need, you're probably going to need to show your COVID test and everything like that. And then there's a couple $100. So before you even come to Thailand, even if there isn't a quarantine, you're going to have to spend a couple grand. And then ticket prices are going to be a little more expensive. I don't know if they are or not, but I'm going to assume that they will be a little bit more expensive. So maybe instead of paying $600 or $700 from LA, you might have to pay $1,000. So I think it can work, and they're doing it in stages, which is the right way. I think they want to make sure that they don't infect the whole places, and they keep it isolated in certain areas, and they keep the foreigners isolated in the beginning. Like you have to stay on Koh Samui in the beginning. But that's your isolation is you got to stay in Koh Samui. And I got to tell you that for me, just knowing that I can't go wherever I want has been a massive drain for me. And I don't want to sound like some little wimp or anything, but I used to go out of the country like every month, every 2 months. Sometimes I'd go several countries in 1 month. I take at least 3 or 4 good trips every year. And maybe I take a little 3-4 day excursion to Myanmar or to Cambodia or something once every other month or so. So it worked out to where I was out of the country all the time. And I haven't been anywhere in about 15 months, 16 months. And so I feel it. I feel it like I'm like, man, And so even Thailand is a bit, it's you just know that you don't have many options, and if you do want to take the options, well, they're going to be expensive. It's going to be costly in time and effort and financially. So, there's something to think about. But, yeah, supposedly they're going to lower the amount of time for the quarantine to 7 days. Then they're saying 3 days. And then it might only be 1 day. So they're going to do it in steps. And, you know, it might be the middle of next year before it all comes up. Hopefully it will be by the end of the year. But I don't, just the way that I know Thailand and the way that I hear them talking, and you got one guy saying, oh yeah, 60 million are going to be inoculated by the end of the year. And then you got, what's that guy's not, Tanatorn, the opposition leader, Chucky. You know what I'm talking about? The young guy.
I know.
Well, he was in some Reddit chat or something with Anutin, the health minister. And Anutin was like, yeah, it's going to be done by this time and everything's. And he came in and said, don't lie. You say it's not, you really, behind closed doors, you're saying it might be until 2023 before everybody's inoculated. And he's like, no, that's not true. And, so I don't know who to believe. I'm always hesitant to believe some opposition leader because he's got an agenda, but not in this case. I really don't. I don't see the guy's lying. I kind of believe that, knowing the Thai government and how, I don't want to say they're inefficient, but things may not work as quickly as they would like to and in the manner that they would like to. Look at how many people have been inoculated so far in Thailand. Let's see. I'm going to tell you. Should be able to get a number up pretty quick. Yeah, you see, inoculation postponed. Very few people as of March 8th.
Less than 3,000. I'm not looking it up, but that's my guess.
No, but I'm looking at only 200 during 5 days. This is on March 8th, and it says, during the 5 days since COVID-19 vaccination began, only 270 people of the total vaccination have had adverse reactions. It doesn't tell me how many. 17,697 from
more than
February
I thought.
28th through March 4th. So let's say that's double now. Let's say I think it's somewhere around 40,000. That's peanuts, man. Really?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing. Considering they're saying that by the middle of this year, at least 13 million people are going to be inoculated. The sound was, where am I at here? Did the last COVID test yesterday and walking on pins now until results come back. You and me both, man. Every time I go out, I think to myself, I'm not really worried. I wear my mask and I wash my hands all the time and everything like that. But then again, I am kind of worried. I do worry about it. I was just talking to someone today, and I said, listen, if some hospital comes out and says, hey, you pay 2,000 baht for each dose, we have the vaccine available, set an appointment up, boom, I'm there. I want to get it over with so that I can say I've been inoculated.
I've been vaccinated.
Huh?
I've been vaccinated 2 times.
I know you have. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me as a foreigner in Thailand, and as just someone in Thailand. Yeah, you see, I think we're close to 3 million a day now, at least over 2 million a day in the U.S., yeah. Planning to be
over 3 million in the U.S.
Wow. Planning to be in Thailand in November, but can push it back to January if need be. Well, you could come here in November, but you still might have to be under quarantine. That's what remains to be seen. Now, have you been inoculated, Tom? Vaccinated? Yeah, the false positives are always something to be concerned about. Listen, don't forget about the boundaries test. I want to kind of try to Chuck and I were talking about the importance of boundaries and setting boundaries when it comes to Thailand. It seems to me that a lot of the guys in my chat are pretty well versed in the ways of women in Thailand and in relationships. But every once in a while, you get some young guy coming in here. The place is paradise. The women are fantastic. They're the best. You know, so it pays to take a boundaries test or to know about boundaries and
Well, in my opinion, I would say 90% of the foreigners that are in Thailand have horrible boundaries.
You think that many?
It's
You
really
talking about
bad.
living here or visiting?
Both. I know many people have lived here for 20 years and they have horrible boundaries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know most of the guys I know have pretty good boundaries. I mean, there's just I've got several friends, and all of them are like they're more like they don't really want to get into a relationship because they just know that if they see certain signs, they're going to have to give the girl the boot, and so most of the time you may see those signs. Just talking to a guy the other day, and I asked him, I said, have you had any relationships, since you've lived here? And he's lived here like 15 years. He said he's had 3 relationships, and he had to break up with all of them because all of them said, we got to get married, we got to get married. He was like, hey, listen, it was never that kind of a relationship. We talked about this in the beginning, and now you're talking about getting married. He's like, what the hell, So he had to give him the boot. Now he's very hesitant about getting involved with anybody because of that. But I know quite a few guys who, they're out there. It's like, listen, you spent the night over, great, fun. Let's not move too quick. And a good Thai girl will appreciate that, But I think a lot of the guys are not always dealing with the most stellar of women, All right, trust me, quarantine is no fun.
I believe you, Carlos.
Yeah, I believe that as well. What the hell is this? You know what? We're going to have to... I'm sorry. With that kind of a thumbnail, I'm sorry. You got to go, buddy.
What is that thumbnail?
You don't want to know. I'm only
It looks really small on my phone.
Well, it was. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know and look into it, and so it's all right. I'll take my chances. They don't need to be in here. That's what I'll say. We want to keep it clean in here, and I've been talking about this lately. How well, it's good. It's good to talk about. We have our little chats about the bum gun and poop and women and that kind of thing. Sometimes it's a bit too much. The whole she's a hottie. So there's freaking millions of hotties out there, and that's one reason why guys they come here and they go berserk, and then the girls take advantage of them because they can't handle it. That she's a hottie, and some of them are gorgeous women. But you got to set that boundary. You got to tell yourself, listen, just because I had my way with her, or vice versa, and vice versa, doesn't mean you got to give away, your life, whether it be financially or otherwise. All of a sudden, she doesn't need to be leading you around. And I get messages, and I've had messages in the past where the guys are like, she wants me to live with her when I get there. And I'm like, you haven't even met her yet, you dummy. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's why I really do believe that 90% of the guys that come to Thailand, whether tourists or living,
I don't think
really have the worst boundaries in the world.
I don't think it's that high. I think maybe it's 50%.
Oh, I think it's way more.
A lot of guys now.
Let's split it. 70.
I don't know. I'd like to know from the people in the chat what they think, because you and I are.
Your followers, though, are drastically less, but still, there are, I'm sure at least 40% of the people that watch your channel and
Mm-hmm.
watch these streams have boundary issues. And I have to confess, I was shocked. Scott, I took the test and I thought it would have a perfect score, and I was slightly below perfect. It said, don't worry about it, but you need to stay on your toes.
Really?
I was really surprised.
What was
I
mine?
was
Because I
really
sent
surprised.
it to you. Mine was good.
Yours was perfect. Yours was perfect. You're better than me.
Yeah, because I'd rather lose them and take that than take a risk at somebody who is less than honorable. We'll say.
And they don't tell you why you got the score that you got, so I don't have any
Yeah, yeah.
feedback as to what my vulnerability is.
It's because you're a
But
big softer, Chuck.
that's why I love watching your videos in your channel, and that is because um, you help me to fine tune and keep my boundaries sharp.
Interesting.
You
I haven't
reinforce
thought
what I
about that.
believe.
Listen,
Yeah,
for
you
all
help.
those people watching right now, please remember to leave a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. I don't, I really don't want to be telling people that, but you know what? If you don't, people forget and they don't, they don't leave a thumbs up or they don't subscribe. And there's many people who comment all the time, and I'm surprised because I can tell if they're subscribed or not, and they don't subscribe. Now I know it can be a bit of a pain, but you know, do me a solid and at least give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that.
Scotty works his ass off. You work your ass off.
Well, sometimes I do.
You,
I'll admit that I do.
oh, bullshit. You're always working your ass off. That's bullshit.
Yeah, but I
I
get
think
to
you work
work
like,
when I want and how I
yeah,
want.
but I
And just
think you work
because I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean I'm working at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know,
I think you're working 50 or 60 hours a week.
Maybe if I see a bogan Aussie in Thailand, I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed when I see really anybody. But you know what? I won't say anything. If I'm on the street and I see some guy being led around, I'm not going to say anything. Um,
No, they'll
Space,
get mad if you say anything.
Spaceman says he'll sub if Chuck eats a cookie. But the thing is, Spaceman, I shouldn't have to say a word to Chuck about a cookie or anything like that. You ought to subscribe. For as long as you've been watching, you ought to just subscribe to do me a solid. I mean, really, Jesus Christ.
When I had the 2.5 cookies, I got so sick after.
What
Oh
about the
my
one
God.
cookie?
One cookie, I felt it really strong, but I didn't have a panic attack or didn't feel paranoid, and
So
I
now
didn't
you're
throw up.
officially Stoner Chuck.
But what I did, I tried something and it worked good. I felt good and I didn't get sick. Let me show you.
The equivalent is a redneck. Oh, I didn't know that was kind of
I'll show you
Bogan,
what I did.
uncouth or
You see,
unsophisticated person regarded as
you
a
see,
what's that?
it's chocolate candy bar, and each piece is 5 milligrams. So I just had only one little piece, 5 milligrams, and it's perfect. I feel relaxed and
Chucky,
I
you
don't
are
get
a
paranoid.
stoner now.
Huh?
I'm I'm shocked, honestly. You're a
I never,
stoner.
for people that didn't watch before, it's the first time in my life I ever had marijuana, and I'm
You're a
59
logy now.
years old. 59 years old, and I never had marijuana.
Well,
And you saw me the first time, and I was really wasted when I had two and a
no,
half.
really?
I could hardly control myself.
Well, you're still alive.
Yeah, yeah. I just had to wait about 3 hours for it to, the sickness and
Yeah,
the
but
paranoid.
He wants the cookies and the chocolate. He doesn't want just the cookies. He wants it all. He wants all these. Get a gummy bear, Chucky. Get the
I can
gummy.
try, but I don't have any now.
Listen, I got a chocolate in my refrigerator. It's Beyond Trinity sent it to me a long time ago, but it's been in the refrigerator for a while. And it's supposedly like 9 million Scovilles. It's like super, super hot. And I cut off just a tiny little corner of a piece once, and had it, and I was like, son of a bitch, this one is truly hot. And I've had the one chip, and I've had all kinds of other things, and it wasn't really that bad. Aside the one chip challenge, if you've ever seen that, the black tortilla chip, was a bit hard for me, and basically not to eat it and not just to handle the heat in my mouth, but it was afterwards I started getting it basically messed with my stomach, and I was at Starbucks sitting there after I had eaten it, and I was like, I got to go back home because I had to relieve myself because it really messed with my stomach, and so that was about it, though. I mean, I handled it no problem, but this chocolate. And I think I still got a gummy bear in there. Those are really, really strong, and I don't think I want to mess with that right now. And the other day I had a sneezing attack, and I pulled like under my floating rib. I pulled the muscle there, the intercostal muscle. Man, I was in such agony for like a day and a half. And then it was a little bit better, and I thought, okay. And then yesterday I was coughing, and I coughed a couple times, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm back to where I'm in pain again because of it, So I don't want to have any. I don't want to have any really, really spiciness in case I start coughing or I gotta sneeze or upchuck or whatever you want to call it, just because of the problem I have right now. But a gummy bear with a little ganja in it, if it wasn't too strong, if I was in pain, yeah, okay, I can see it as a pain relief, Sky Trooper and usually sporting a mullet hairdo. Oh, so a bogan has a mullet haircut. I didn't know that. I've never smoked a joint, Chuck. I did hit a bong once, and that's it. Bongs can get you, especially if you start coughing.
Yeah, I hate smoke, so
if you start coughing after you hit a bong, and you start, coughing and coughing, that's what really gets you stoned, and that's what can give you a headache too. But I subbed years ago. Just want to see Chuck high. Chuck will be high again on the camera. He may have, for all we know, he could have eaten a half a chocolate right now, and he's sitting there, holding back his grin. I once hit a hookah in Afghanistan once with a village elder. Now, was there hash in there, or what was in it? Was it just tobacco? Go ahead, Chucky.
By the way, the word hooker sounds like a Bronx lady saying a hooker.
Hookah.
Hey, girl, you're a hooker.
You're a straight up hookah. Hookah. Yeah. I guess. Anyway, any more observations there, Chucky, about boundaries? I don't want to do some 3-hour stream today, 4-hour stream. It's not going to happen.
I really always worry tremendously about all of the people and foreigners that come here about their boundaries. And I think this is the number one issue with your channel, the most important thing. And I think that anyone that's considering coming to Thailand, that they should watch every video that relates to boundaries. And they need to have friends and talk with them about boundaries, because I know so many people who lost huge amounts of money. And I know people that thought they were in love with someone, and they were in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years. And then they realized that they were never really in love in the first place. I mean, the person they're married to, or in a relationship. And, and boundaries help you. When you have good boundaries, you're good at business. I'm a businessman, and I have to negotiate big contracts with radio and television networks, and I need to have really good boundaries. And dealing with people in Asia, Southeast Asia, made my boundaries really good and made me make a lot more money. And I know how to, when people negotiate with me, with the radio and TV networks, when they negotiate with me, I can tell if they're lying, because I learned that from Thais. I learned. Because I had so many of them try to manipulate me that I just go into the room and I know what every person is thinking.
But Chucky, you have some pretty strange boundaries of your own. Why don't you talk about those little boundaries with your partners, we'll say?
Well, I don't give them any money or luxury goods, or.
Do you ever give them any gifts?
Or I give them only romantic gifts: flowers, stuffed animals, candy, and that's it. No brand name stuff, no cell phone, no luxury goods, no cash. And I won't give them any of that stuff for about 3 years.
They got to be in a relationship for 3 years just to get some a box of candy, box of chocolate.
No, candies I start right away, and I do it more than most people, so they think I'm really romantic. And that's not why I'm doing it, but I'm saying that no, I start giving them.
That's so funny. As
I,
far as
I can
boundaries go, I think it's about 50%, but most that come here fall for the Asian charm, i.e., women catering to a man's ego. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. My wife does not cater to my ego. She never has. You know. Yeah, a couple guys know her. She doesn't cater to my ego. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I think so.
But
So
obviously, there are some that do, and the men just eat it up. You know, that's why if I hear, "Oh, handsome man, oh, you're so handsome," well, shut the fuck up. That's what I want to tell them. Shut up. You know, maybe 30 years ago I was a little bit handsome, but that was about it. So
Scotty's very handsome. You're so hot.
I don't need to hear that shit from you.
Well, you're not my type. I'm not going to make a move on you, but
I don't
I
care.
still,
It doesn't matter if I'm your type or not. I don't give a shit if I'm handsome or not because I am what I am.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
But it's always good to know that you're a good looking guy.
I
It's
guess.
nice. It's a nice feeling.
What does it do? It doesn't do anything for me. I'm comfortable with myself how I am. Whether
I
I'm
know it's
cleaned up and
extra.
handsome or I'm out sweating my balls off and uh, I'm out in some other country. I'm photographing something or sweating my ass off running around or my shirt's all drenched with sweat. I don't care because at the end of the day, does it really matter? How much does that matter? He's not making me $20 million a fucking movie. You know what I mean? So it's not like it really matters.
No, I think that because you're married, you don't really care. But I think you would appreciate it if you were single. Suddenly, if you were single, I'm not saying you're going to be. You will not be. But if you were, I think you'd be surprised and pleasantly surprised that you still have
Marketable.
shelf life.
I still have a shelf life.
Yes, it didn't expire.
God.
You know,
Yeah, well,
tell people that Thailand extends your shelf life.
that's true.
Yeah, big time. And I also call it the romantic exchange rate.
The romantic what?
Romantic exchange rate.
Well, yeah, I guess there is a bit of an exchange rate but that is lessening as time has gone by. That has lessened in the past,
Oh,
say, 10, 15 years.
mhm.
Slowly, your rate gets a little bit lower. They don't get as much for their money as I think what they're starting to figure out. It's not like,
No,
oh my God, I'm hitting the jackpot now when I get me a foreigner. That's not always the case. And I think they know that now. In the past, they used to really believe that you were the walking ATM, you know. And, this is the thing. If you get into that kind of relationship, then you better provide the goods. Otherwise, they're long gone.
a friend of mine has dreamed about coming to Thailand, and he finally came to Thailand. He was hanging out with me about a
Thank you,
year ago.
Tom.
Cool. All
Choke
right, Mr.
D.
Tom.
Choke D for you.
Tom
Thank you very
O'Connell.
much. Good luck for you in Las Vegas, especially.
Oh, I tell Tom. Well, Tom can hear. I
Yeah.
lived in the Las Vegas Country Club
Yeah, but
till June last year.
why did you move?
Oh, I was just too bored in Vegas.
You were bored
Not
in Vegas because you're not a gambler.
And yeah, I don't gamble at all. And it doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah.
And there's not enough Asians there. I need to be in a city that has a lot of Asians, or it drives me crazy.
Seattle?
Seattle, San Francisco, LA, New York, Chicago. It
Yeah.
just drives me.
Yeah.
I feel like a monk.
Now, you know what I think is interesting is that some guys, they meet their girlfriend or their wife in the United States, and they are Asian, whether they're Japanese, Filipino, Thai, whatever. And those relationships, I know quite a few of them that they work out really well because the girls are already semi-Americanized, and so they know what they're getting into, you know. Whereas here, I think, I'll give you an example. Somebody was telling me about one guy from the UK, and the guy really was basically living off of fumes. He had really next to nothing, and his wife was pretty well off, and it just came down to the fact that he was like he did not want to. He didn't want to have to show the money to stay here because it was really difficult for him. And eventually he just said, I'm going back to my country. And, do you want to come with me? And she said, no. Why? I got a great life here. She was like, I'm not going with you. They weren't married, but that was in the future, supposedly. But they were a little older and she didn't want to go with them, So to her, it was all about, hey, where am I going to have the best life? Anyway, what is this? They're American, though? Who's American? I don't know what he's talking about. I got no clue what he's talking about. Me, I don't know.
I think you hate people.
Who?
You.
Me? I hate people?
Yes, you really do.
The fuck
you deny it on your shirt. Your shirt says you don't hate people, but I think you do.
I don't hate people. I just I have very low tolerance for anything.
You hate
it's not people, it's me. That's what it is. It's me
harassing you.
Yeah, I know you are. They're
Scotty,
American.
So hot. It's so hot. All the,
Don't please. Let's get away from that kind of. Listen, Chuck. Please, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, please. I don't want to hear all this shit. I don't need to hear it. Nobody gives a shit about it. We don't care. We're talking about boundaries in relationships. I know he's on the fucking chocolate. He's on the chocolate ganja right now. You could tell the guy's eating. He's eating some chocolate or he's eating a cookie. He's stoned. He's Stoner Chuck. From now on, he's going to be known as Stoner Chuck. I think Howard Stern used to have Stoner Fred or something like that. Didn't you used to have Stoner somebody on there? Stoner Steve or something like that?
Yeah, Stuttering John also.
Well, that's Stuttering John, not Stoner John. You're Stoner Chuck.
Uh-huh.
So tell us the truth. How much have you had today? Are you hooked? Are you addicted now?
No, I haven't had any.
Are you an addict, Chuck? Every day?
After this stream, I have to do an order for my customer, and I have to concentrate. I cannot have anything in my system, or I won't be able to do it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. It's hard to concentrate.
Oh, it's impossible to concentrate. Oh, it's insane. I can't even remember anything that happened 7 seconds ago. I'm on a 7-second delay, and then everything from that delay gets deleted from my memory.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. It's been a long time since I partook of the fruit, and I don't really want to be honest, because the shit nowadays is much different than it used to be when I was growing up. When I was growing up, Colombian gold was supposedly good, and Thai stick was also the big weed. If you got a hold of some Thai stick, man, woo, yeah, baby, we got some good stuff. Now they got all this medically, chemically formulated, highest THC content ever. It's like 3-4 times stronger than the stuff that I was smoking when I was young. That's some scary shit. It's like, I remember smoking some Hawaiian when I was like 18, 19 years old, some Hawaiian weed. And it was like you take one or two hits, and then all of a sudden you're sitting in your chair and you don't feel your legs, and I thought that was strong. And now the stuff's even stronger than that. I don't know. I couldn't handle being like a Snoop Dogg kind of guy where I'm like, smoking joint after joint every day. I couldn't do that. And I don't want to. Something to add to my life that I don't want to get, involved with. With you buy a little bag of cookies and you get home, grab it, you put your hand in the cookie jar, have a little cookie. Next thing you know, you're giggling to yourself and, you're done. Maybe you come on the stream, maybe you go to Starbucks and you're feeling festive.
That's such a gay word.
Oh God! Well, I didn't want to use the word gay, but I wanted to use festive.
Gay people use the word festive all the time. They say it's going to be a festive party. What kind of mood are you in today? I feel festive.
Yeah, I don't generally use that word, but I was looking for an alternative to,
I'm surprised that a straight guy you even knows that word.
Well, come on. My vocabulary isn't, it's not limited to a tunnel. I mean, I do have a fair vocabulary,
Well, Scotty is
fair
very
knowledge.
good, right?
Yeah, but you know why? Because I know I'll tell you what, when I'm trying to speak, I might not be able to come up with a word. But then I'm sitting there and then I think, what is that word? And I'm like, okay, what's a similar word? And then I'll use a thesaurus if I have to come up with the word that I'm trying to think of. And then usually I find it, but this is another thing. Listen.
Your writing is your greatest skill. I think your writing, when I read your writing, I just think, wow, I wish I could write like this. Oh my God.
Chuck wanted me to write his life story.
I do.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. I can see him high playing with a Tickle Me Elmo doll and turning red laughing. Don't make me laugh. Oh God. Oh, that's so funny.
That's very funny.
Well, listen, I've made a determination. So just an FYI for people. Sometime next week, I am going to go south. I said I'm going to go south, and I am going to go south. Now I'm starting to clear a few things up. I got one thing left to clear up, and that's not going to happen right away. But I got to get my youngest son. We got to figure out what school he's going to go to, and get him started in university in a couple of months. But that doesn't have to be done right away. So I am going to take off for the South. I don't know exactly when. And I'll be in a variety of places. I will. It's too bad Gennaro's not here, but I understand. But, he was asking me, when am I going to go to Krabi? When am I going to go to Krabi? And maybe he'll make it back into the stream for that. But I'm going to go some other places. And some places you may know, and some places you may not know. But I'm trying to figure everything out. And, sometimes I sit and I ponder. I try to think of everything I want to do, where I want to go, what do I want to accomplish. And I start getting tired and I just go, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm just going to jump on a plane and go. And then whatever happens, happens. That's why I'm fly by the seat of the pants, because I start getting overwhelmed in my head because I want to do this. I want to do that. How am I going to go here? How am I going to go there? And I go, ugh, why think about it? Just do it. Just go. And whatever happens, that's part of the adventure. Life's an adventure. Live it, baby. Know what I'm saying? So, we may do a little island hopping. And, of course, I will have to stream. And I really want to do some more videos because I haven't been doing enough. So, anyway, that's what's going on. And with Chuck, I don't know. Soy Dog Cowboy, I don't know. Lori, she was going to come in, I guess, yesterday. I had something to do. And so if anybody else wants to come in, and I'm talking about people who have a history with this channel that I know, the next time I stream, if you're interested in coming in, I will put a link up inside the stream chat. And if you want to come in, you can come in, and you don't have to show your face. You can show your face. You can show the top, the ceiling like Chuck does. But he's, stoner
Well,
Chuck.
that's cool. Cool that we get to see some new people.
What's that?
It's cool that we get to see some new people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Are there any restrictions, special requirements for foreigners flying domestically within Thailand? Uh, Generally, no. Not in a while. There hasn't been any out, although you may not be able to eat on the flight, and you're definitely going to have to wear a mask. So that's about it, though. I mean, flying domestically is pretty easy. And I've been debating, do I want to fly? Do I want to take a train? And I'm thinking one-way fly, one-way train. Just because
I want to see you do a live stream from the train. That'd be cool.
I've done it many times, Chucky. Where have you been? You didn't. You missed the one where
I'm
I was
not
in
addicted. I'm
Myanmar.
not addicted to your channel.
Well, no, I know. I forgot you're addicted to marijuana. He's a stoner. Did you never? You didn't see the stream that I did from inside of a Burmese train where I was going south in the train, and the train, they're on these light gauge tracks, so the train bumps. I mean, it bounces up and down all the time, and I was flying around my chair doing this stream, and that was like the best ride I've ever had on a train. Complete. It was fun, but it was a bit hairy. You know, in Thailand, the trains are a dream.
I'm so sorry, Scott. You cut out. All I heard was Harry Ride.
Oh, Chucky at his best. Chucky at his finest.
I didn't hear anything else. What are you talking about? A Harry Ride? Riding
I
what?
went from Yangon down to I think it was Yei, Myanmar, and it was like something like a 26-hour train ride. I can't remember, to be honest, but it was a long train ride, and their tracks are very lightweight. The gauge of the tracks is light, and so the trains move a lot. And on this one, I was bouncing out of my seat, and it was just nonstop like that. I mean, some people would get sick from it; they would be thrown up. And some of the little old ladies, they're like clutched onto the arm rest. They're like sleeping, and they're not bouncing around. I'm like, these old ladies are used to it. I'm not used to it. I'm flying all over the place. My head's hitting the top of the, where you put your stuff. And that was pretty good. You can. I'll send you the link later, Chucky. You should watch it. It's pretty fun.
Well, an old lady told me that about 20 years ago that you had a nickname in Bangkok with all the girls, and you were called the Harry Ride.
Okay, Jono.
I'm sorry. I should my
Stoner Chuck, aka Jono the comedian. The best ride. Oh, here comes Carlos the comedian. The best ride I've had on a train was a girl named Kathy.
You could do a ride on that train without having to really use any of your own muscles to ride.
What I'm gonna say is that trains are good if you're with a girl that you want to have a little fun time with. They're good. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to get into that. We don't want to devolve. We don't want to digress into the toilet. Okay? Because I feel like I'm wasting any talent that I might have on talking about poo and banging and sexuality and all. I don't need to talk about it. I think we can talk about other things, such as boundaries, which I think we've covered quite well. We only got about 9 minutes left in this stream. So yeah, I don't know. I think we've kind of, this stream has run its course. Plead the fifth. Chucky, have you ever taken a Thai train?
No, I have not.
Oh my goodness! Have you ever taken a train out in another country?
Mhm.
Where?
China, Japan,
We don't want to know about China. Okay, Japan is great.
Ru- Russia.
Russia, I have not taken the train.
I took a train from St. Petersburg to Moscow, and all over Europe.
Did you find Moscow to be just extremely polluted and dirty?
And when I was there, the air was super clean.
Man, I went and I'm telling you, I was on the highway and was amazed because all the cars were covered with soot. I mean, like thick dirt. And then I went to another part, um, and the place was pretty clean. And then I went to Yekaterinburg, which was the place where I was in, like -9 degree weather. It was just absolutely brutally cold there, and there was snow everywhere. Um, and that place was immaculate. It was great. Great
Well,
place. A shopping mall there.
I stayed in downtown Moscow, and I was, really close to the Kremlin, and that area is like Beverly Hills. Super luxury cars, luxury clothing,
Yeah.
and honestly, the by far the best looking blonde women I've ever seen in my life. Like shocking.
Well, you
And
know what?
they have really good bodies too.
I went to I was in Yekaterinburg for a fight. Our guy had a fight there, and I basically was I didn't have much to do, and so I decided to go into town. And they had the hotel. We were staying at a really nice hotel. They put us up there. It was very very nice, and they had a shuttle that went into town, and you just had to meet them when you wanted to come back at a certain time in a certain area, and it was right at the mall. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the mall. I went walking around, and it was pretty. It was interesting, and they had some different stuff, but they also had some of the usual stuff you would see. The little drink shops and stuff, but they had coffee on sale, and I was going to go to a coffee shop, and then I saw like these really good looking Russian women standing there with bags of coffee, and they were trying to sell them, but they were also giving away coffee. And so I said, "Can you tell?" I said, "Do you speak English? I speak only a few words of Russian. Can you help me? Are you selling just the coffee, or can I buy a coffee?" And she said, "No, no, we'll give you a coffee, and then if you want to buy the coffee, you can buy a bag of coffee or whatever." I said, "Well, what's so good?" I started talking to them. Next thing I know, I had all three of them, and they're sitting around, and they're like, "Is that good coffee?" They're trying to sell me the coffee, but they were all interested. They were interested in knowing where was I from, what was I doing there, blah blah blah, and it was the highlight of my trip there, to be completely honest. But I didn't buy any of the coffee because I didn't think the coffee was that great. But it was interesting to go there, and they were trying to sell to people, and yet they had this little setup there where people could sit and have a coffee. They just gave away coffee, like an espresso. That's what I
Were,
had.
were they hot?
Yeah, they were good looking girls, man. They were good
Ultra
looking
hot.
women.
They're really good looking because I usually don't pay any attention to the women. And I was like, wow, these girls are ultra hot. I mean,
So my
they're
buddy
like
said
supermodels
they
walking
all
down the
over,
street.
the former USSR, and he told me that Latvia was the place where he thought the absolute most gorgeous women uh, lived, and that while some of them were definitely aware that they were of stellar looks, um, he said most of them were really nice, and they were easy to talk to. And he actually had a girlfriend from there for a while. That she came over to the United States and stuff, and they and
I've been there,
it didn't
and
work
and
out. But
I agree with him.
yeah, interesting.
I've been to Finland, and I've been to Estonia and
Well, how are
Lithuania.
the people in Finland?
It's interesting. I am 40% Finnish, and I felt like I was looking at me and my relatives when I was walking around. It was really
Well,
bizarre.
that's kind of scary.
Yeah, like
Talking about the women.
the guy that checked me in at my hotel looked like 90% like my brother. It was so bizarre to see, and I never saw so many blondes as there were in Helsinki. And Yeah, it's nice and people are cool, and everyone I met speaks English, and I like it.
Well, you know what? I was infatuated with Sweden for quite some time because there was a Swedish up here in Palm Desert where I used to live, and I used to see her every once in a while. You know, I'd go out with her every once in a while, and she was exceptional. She was quite a bit bigger than me, like taller than me, which was okay with me. But you know, uh, it didn't matter. I didn't care. I was just like, okay, good stuff here, you know. And she was a nice girl, and she used to she was from Malmo, and she used to tell me, if you ever come to Malmo, come and see me, you know. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to get over there, honey. Don't worry. If they all look like you, I'm there, you know. And then I never went because I ended up going to the Netherlands all the time and stuff. Longhorn says hottest girls are on Instagram are from Ukraine and Russia, in my opinion. Can't keep up with all the Instagram broads. You know, once you see a good looking girl and then you see another one and another one and another one, after a while, it's like, you know, what's the difference?
You know, that's exactly how I feel.
You know, I mean, like, okay, one of them, she might be a little, she might have better breasts, she might have a better ass. The other one might have better nipples. The other one might have nicer lips. The other one might be sweeter. She might have a different person. That's the whole beauty of it. And that's why it's like you can never get enough because you're always looking for the one who's got it all. And none of them have it all. That's the thing you should remember. There's the boundary right there. You just remember, none of them are perfect, even though they may seem like they are. They're from Ukraine and Russia. Russian. What didn't I get? Because Ukraine is technically, well, they Russians want to believe that Ukraine is Russian, but Ukrainians think differently. What am
Ukraine
I
really has a total Russian vibe to it, and their culture is so similar.
You know that the Ukraine is pricing is supposedly similar to Thailand.
Yeah, it was very cheap there. You
Yeah.
know, where it was ultra cheap that I was really surprised was Belgrade.
Uh,
Like
yeah, I
I
know somebody from there.
buying a large slice of pizza for only 35 cents,
Wow.
and
And was the pizza
a beer,
good?
beer for about 90 cents in a disco.
Huh.
It was
Wow.
so, my hotel was really nice, and it was only
Oh,
$30.
Chuck agreed with your girls comment with a smirk because he's not interested in girls.
That's smart of you.
Dickens cider. You know that Chuck, did you know they put up? I forget how they went about doing it, but they said, "Have you had uh, Dickens cider?" They wrote Dickens cider. Have you ever
Oh,
had that?
cider.
But I didn't get it at first. It took me a while because I
No,
said, Dickens cider. I haven't drank that before. What are you talking about?
no,
It's
me too.
Dickens
I
cider.
never had that. I never had that.
Yeah, well, okay. You
I did.
haven't.
I haven't even had finger insider.
All right. And on that note, I think this stream is over. You have to take the Goldilocks approach with women. Taste the ones you are interested in until you find the one that's just right.
I agree.
I don't know. Is that a Goldilocks approach?
I think so.
Um, None of them are perfect. It's a matter of which one doesn't irritate you the most in the time you're with them. If they irritate you in like the minute you finish with them, so to speak, the minute you finish, if they start blabbering about something and they irritate the hell out of you, and you're like, yeah, I gotta go, or you gotta go, then you know they're not for you. But if like you find yourself enthralled in a conversation and then you're going into the round, you know, 5 and 6 or whatever round it might be with them, you might want to keep them around for a little while, you know. But you know, I think that's important that they don't irritate you.
And Scott, for me, whether it be term or medium term or long term, I enjoy it. I don't have an expectation that a relationship has to last forever. It might last. I've had two relationships over 10 years, but most of the relationships lasted 6 months to 9 months.
I've had a hell of a lot of relationships, Chuck. Some of them have continued, and some of them have not continued.
And the
And
best has continued.
and a relationship doesn't always have to be, of a sexual nature or something like that. I'm talking about, people have relationships all the time. So why do you think when it has to do with a woman, you have to think, why do guys have to think like, okay, so where's this going? Why does a woman think that way? It's mostly the women. Where's this going? And now what? You know, I'm not just some slut who sleeps with somebody, right away. You know what I mean? Like, you were special to me. And the guy's like, really? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that? You know, that's why, listen, the Thai women got it right when they say they want to know you for a long time, because they're not that stupid. They know that the banging part wears out. The guys are sweet talking them. Oh, honey. Oh, and send them the little sweet emojis and all that kind of stuff. And, all that stuff ends, or it at least slows down. And the women don't care about that. They care about, okay, what's our life going to be like? And do we get along? That's what they care about. Chuck is right. Don't have expectations, at least at first. Well, I mean, that goes with just about anything. If your expectations are extremely high, sometimes they're too high. If your expectations are reasonable, then, you won't be disappointed and you won't be overly shocked. You keep your expectations kind of low, and then you don't expect the world. You shouldn't expect the world because, you stooped some girl and, she told you, I never, it was like, it's never been like that before. And you're like, yeah, I got her. She's mine forever now. And then the next day she's with some other guy. That happens.
So I had a
What's
I had a friend, Scott, who dreamt about coming to Thailand for about 20 years.
mm-hmm.
And he finally came to Thailand. And he was actually giving Thais money before he came. And he pitied about at least 8 of them that he met while he stayed here and was giving them money. And then at the end of the trip, um, I tried to talk him into not giving them money, but he just felt sorry for them, like big time.
Right.
And so at the end of the trip, I said, so what do you think about, watching me um, during this time? And he just laughed. He said, well, Chuck, you use your money to get them, but you never give them any.
What's wrong with that?
And I started laughing. Like, he thought it was kind of a negative thing to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, give me 5. I love that. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think what he meant by that is like, I'll wear good clothing or, or stuff like that. So he, or I'll say, oh, I work in the radio and television business and stuff like that. I'm like selling myself, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Listen, Longhorn says, hey, Chuck, what's considered a normal time for aerobics in the gay community? Do y'all have 1 minute, guys? LMAO, like Minuteman. Minutemen.
I'm sure they do, but I just don't really, I never ask them. So I don't know.
Yeah, but he's asking you your experiences, Chuck.
Oh, my experiences. Well, it's up to me because I'm more of like a man, you know what I'm saying? So that's up to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to them. So
Is that a sufficient
I have
answer,
excellent,
Longhorns?
I have excellent self-control.
We don't need it. It's too much information. All right, I'm sorry. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Set your sights low. Set your sights low so you can hit every target. Well, I think that what you do is you set goals that are small, attainable goals so that you are proud of yourself. I am going to put $13 away this week. Next week, I'm going to put $28 a week. The week after, I'm going to put $30. Whatever it takes to make sure you keep attaining your goals and You set them a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. And then if you don't attain the goal, whatever it might be, and then, you're not so put off, or it's not such a blow to your confidence because you have attained those little goals all the time. I think that's important. Look at Scott's face, laughing my ass off. Chuck's on top form. Chuck's the man. New title. I thought I was the man all the time. Like, Scott, you the man. Oh, you the man. You're goddamn right I'm the man. Don't ever forget it.
I can be the second place man.
Listen, you can be the man in your world. I'll be the man in my world.
Yeah.
Okay? That's fine. I don't want to detract anything from you because, I know Chucky's he's got it going on.
You're the man and I'm the Ed McMahon.
If that's how you want to put it, up to you.
Or I would rather be Guillermo. I want to be Guillermo.
You can be whoever you want, Chuck.
Of Guillermo. And also
Gallo, thank you very much. Thank you, choke D to you.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Gallo?
Down low.
Oh, cool. Where's
on the down low? Huh? He's Australian.
Oh, cool.
He's an Aussie.
Cool. I love Australia so much. Really do. I learned how to scuba dive there.
Oh, really? I learned to scuba dive in the Bahamas.
Cool. I'm really sad that you can't dive anymore because I'd love to go diving with you.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed by that, but you know what? I'm all right. I did a fair amount of diving when I was younger. That's the thing. Sometimes, some things stay with you for a long time, and sometimes, you just move on and it's not that important anymore. Mm-hmm. Set SMART goals, as we say in the teaching profession. They are very important. They avoid frustration and encourage. Thank you. That's exactly what I was talking about. And if you never reach a goal, listen, we play with the cat all the time, right? And we got a little toy that he just, I would say he doesn't like that toy, and he goes after it and attacks it all the time. And Alex will make sure that he can't get it all the time. But then at the end, once he starts getting a little bit tired of playing, Alex will let him catch it. Because he knows, okay, he has to work a little bit hard to achieve his goal of obtaining that little rubber, whatever the thing is, rubber bird that he grabs. But then he knows, I can get the bird, so I won't stop. Now with the laser, you use a laser with the cat's never going to get the laser. So you play with him for a limited amount of time, and you get his mind off of it, go on to something else, because he will never catch the laser. So you don't want him to catch on. I'm never going to achieve my goal. This laser, whatever this thing is, I'm not going to be able to get it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He could do shallow diving. I could, but
is that how your wife trains you, with a laser?
My wife doesn't train me.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Believe it.
I don't believe that.
She don't train me.
I think you're living in a fantasy.
Let me tell you something.
You don't even know how well trained you are.
Listen, I live the life that I want. Mm-hmm. If anybody did any training, it was me, because she was a young woman when I got her. Okay. I will say this. When you're married to a woman for a long time, you get to know their moods. You get to know their way of reacting, and you learn from that. And so when you can push a little bit, when you just leave them alone. You feel them out, so to speak. And like if I wanted her to do something for me, right? If I need something done and I want her to do it, I don't know what I'm talking about, but really nothing specific. But let's say that I wanted her to do something. There's a time and a place to approach her about it. You don't approach her when she's stressed out and she's trying to figure something out at work and her mind's not there. You wait until the right time. You know what I mean? Don't kid yourself, Chuck, because you're not married, so to speak, but every man who lives with a woman knows that if the wife is happy, their life is a little bit happier. They don't have as many concerns. If the wife is pissing and bitching and moaning about things, you're going to need to figure something out. You know, it's so subtle that he never noticed. Yeah, difference between training and understanding. That's the thing. It's understanding. Feeling out is the best part. Did you just smell an armpit, Chuck?
No.
Did you did an armpit check? I never have to do those. I
No.
never do them. I don't want to know. I know that I shower sufficiently, and I know that I put deodorant on, and I'm not a stinky kind of a guy, so I have no need to smell my own armpit. You know, it's like somebody who scratches their butt and then they smell their finger. What are you smelling it for? What do you expect it to smell like? Flowers, roses, you know, lemon pledge. I mean, lemon scented pledge. Anyway, all right. Well, we've got to a certain part here. Chuck with Old Spice deodorant. Listen, my wife bought me some Old Spice deodorant a couple months ago. I was like, "Can you buy me some deodorant when you're out?" She said, "Yeah." I've been using a Nivea for a long time now because they don't have some of the older stuff that I like, or it's harder to find. Um, and she came home with the Old Spice. I was like, "Hey, you know what? Hello, old friend." Old Spice, when I was growing up, was a good one. That one and Aqua Velva and High Karate and Canoe and some of the ones. I think they're all still out now. They got bought out by some company that makes those. Not easy to find good deodorant in Thailand, but butt check not needed. Always smells the same. Exactly. Old English. That's right. English leather. Those were the old ones that I used to have. And, I like the lemon scented ones. I used to like the lime scented ones. That's the one. I used to like those. I don't, right now I have some barbershop stuff. I have some Paco Rabanne Million, which is pretty good. I have, what is it? The black, Polo Black. And I have some, well, actually, Chuck, remember you gave me that Thai Airways little kit that had all the
Mhm.
glasses things and all that. Well, it had a cologne in there,
Oh wow, cool.
and so it actually smells pretty good. It's kind of a lemon lime kind of smell. So I gave my kid everything that was in that thing, and I think he went to the Japanese guy and sold it for like 50 baht or something. The guy who pays him money for all our junk. And I gave that to him, but I kept the eye things and also the cologne. So every once in a while, I'll wear the cologne. I rotate them, you know. I rotate my colognes, but I have a hard time paying for cologne just because, like I don't smell bad. I don't have to, be the guy who goes and everybody goes, "Oh, he wears too much cologne." I don't need to do that. So I only wear cologne in specific occasions. That's it. What is this? That Man by Revlon? Oh, God. I stick to the Gillette Sports Gel. I think that's all I have is the Nivea roll on, and I have the Old Spice,
You
and
know what
that's
I
brute.
recommend, Scott,
What?
is using deodorant that is made from the same brand of cologne. A lot of them
Yeah.
have, so you're rolling on the same smell under your arms,
Yes. I know.
your cologne. It really makes it smell good.
Yeah, and you wash with the soap that they give you, and you do the whole layering effect.
Yeah, you
I'm
use.
aware of that.
You know what? You could really pass for something. Never mind. I don't want to piss.
Didn't I talk to you about this? I don't want people getting the wrong impression
They know.
because we're
Come on.
friends.
They know you're so straight. Come on.
I don't know.
They
There are people out there that will take anything you say and they will twist it to their own narrative.
Yes, that sounds like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, all three.
Brute, brute aftershave. That's good stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Listen, that was stuff that like when I was a kid, I'd go to school with my English leather on or something like that. My old man would come in wearing canoe, you know, and I used to be like, oh yeah, I smell so good. Now it's like you want some halfway decent cologne here, and you're gonna have to pay like 4,500 baht. You know, it's 150 bucks. You're gonna pay 125 to 175 dollars for a bottle of cologne here.
And that's a lot cheaper in the USA. So, it's better to buy your cologne before you arrive.
Well,
Thailand has luxury taxes. Everything is about 40% more. That's a brand name.
yeah. Well, you just said. I mean, what I do for cologne is I know there's some shops upstairs where they sell the samples of the cologne because when I was in the States, I knew a girl. I knew a girl. She was a close friend, and she worked at the cologne counter. And so I'd come in every once a month or so, once every couple of months, and I'd say, what kind of cologne you got? Good cologne, and I'd be like, okay, let me have one of those. And she'd give me what I bought, and then she would give me a bag of samples.
Cool.
And she would just give me all kinds of stuff, and I was like, wow, this is great. Well, they do that in Thailand, except what the people do is they don't give them away for free. They sell them to certain people who start you know, their own little shop, and then they've got 50 different colognes for men, 50 different colognes for women, and they sell those little bottles for about 350 baht. And so this way you're not locked into one cologne. You can have whatever cologne you want. You just go in, you pay about 12 bucks, 15 bucks. You get yourself a little cologne. And if you like it, then you really, really like it, you go and buy yourself a big bottle. If you don't like it, you don't.
My brother, he loves cologne, and he's 58 years old. And his entire life, he never bought a bottle of cologne. He gets those little cheap samples that can last only like for like a week at the most. He gets the
vial.
Yeah, vials. He goes to stores and asks for those and never buys anything. And he's been his whole life.
They don't do that here in Thailand. They sell those, but they don't sell the ones in the vials. They sell the ones in bottles, and some of them are big bottles actually. But the ones that usually they're a couple of ounces, like I don't know, I don't know how big they are, but they're just little bottles, and they might cost you 300 baht. They might cost you 400 or 500 depending on the brand. But I find that's for me that's fine.
So Scott, I'm taking two homeless girls to Thailand.
No, you're not.
No, I became friends with them at Starbucks. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm serious. We already got their passports.
And what pray tell are they all about?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, like, are they good looking? Are they old? Are they young? Are they intelligent? Are they on the street because they're drug addicts, or what's the reason?
You know what? They are.
Backstory.
One is 33 and one is 40, but the one that's 40 looks like a teenager, younger.
So they're old.
One is thin and one is extremely fat. Extremely fat.
And that's the one you like?
I'm friends with both of them.
Oh, okay.
And they're lesbians. They're a lesbian couple. And they've been around together for a long time.
That's the story right there.
And
the lesbians.
Yeah. And you know what? They're not crazy. They can talk normally. They're just really lazy. They could get a job.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
They just...
Yeah.
I don't understand it because I've talked to them for hundreds of hours and they seem wise and calm and sweet.
Because somebody's a lesbian doesn't make them unwise or
but they're homeless.
Carlos says, he does bring up a valid point. He says, Chuck is a marijuana addict. You're going to have to keep an eye on him now. It's, he's a marijuana addict. He's hanging around in a rough crowd. I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on you, Chucky. Don't eat too many cookies.
Yeah, and they're interesting because the girls are black, but they always complain about black people.
Are they dark black, light black? What are they like?
Really dark. One of them is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
And
have to interview them. Maybe we can bring them on the stream when you're here.
yeah,
Next.
they're really funny. They're really calm, but they don't like drama. So, they're always complaining about, loud black
And
people.
I take it you showed them my channel already, right?
A little bit. A little bit.
Are they going to call me a cracker or something like that, or are they going to be cool?
No, these girls are
They're
really
not like racist or
no. They're
no hate against
no. I just got to know them, and
the Quran.
I've given many people free trips around the world. Many.
Yeah, that's
So,
nice.
so they're really nice, and I thought I want to take them to Thailand, and they're gonna come, and I've showed them a lot of videos, and they're
So you're going to pay for
excited.
their COVID test and their quarantine and all that other shit?
I won't do it until the quarantine's gone.
Okay.
I'm not going to pay for all.
That's yeah.
They're going to come, and they're not going to need.
You're still somewhat frugal.
Yeah, and I'm going to put them up in a hotel like the Malaysia Hotel or some, $200, $28 a night hotel or something.
That's all right.
Yeah, but
all right.
Yeah, they're extremely friendly,
And do they have boundaries, Chucky?
Huh?
Do they have good boundaries?
I don't know. But they have boundaries in the sense. One good boundary that people can have sometimes is to not have any money. That's a boundary. If you don't have money,
or what you can do is understand that there's money that is for your life and your safety, and then there is money that you use to live. You know what I mean? There's money for in case something happens, and then it's completely separate, and you have to think like that.
And a budget for girls, like if you're single and you should have a budget for girls, whether you're paying by the hour or just for dating, normal dating. You got to have a budget. You got to think.
Well, I don't kind of think that way, but then again,
well, no one has to do that, but I recommend.
I'm a married man, Chucky.
Oh, and I know, but I'm talking about back in the old days, during the prehistoric years.
Yeah, like 5 years ago, you mean? Before pre-Tinder?
No, before you got married.
Oh, well,
my God! If there would have been Tinder around when you were young in Thailand, it would have been insane.
No, I wouldn't have been. I would not have engaged.
Yeah, you're kind of.
Yeah, I'm old school, man. I'm old school.
Yeah.
Why would I need to go online to meet some chick? I'd just go somewhere where I know there's a lot of women, and I'd hit one up, and maybe I'd get lucky, maybe I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been fun for me to hang out with you back in those days.
Well, maybe.
I'd want to see you. I'd want to see you punch a lady boy.
I don't want to punch anybody.
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, I mean, don't make it sound like it was because they were a lady boy.
No, they were crazy. They were attacking you.
Yeah. I've never used Tinder. You don't need to go online in Thailand. Chucky does.
I do.
He doesn't need to, but he does.
Because I like a big selection. The Philippines, they always say this. They say collect and then select. So
Anyway, we got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the stream. Has anybody got anything good to say? What is this? Sign language only. What the hell does that mean? I haven't got a freaking clue. Seriously. What does that mean? Anybody got a clue what that means? I don't. No? Nobody? That's what I thought.
So thanks for another great show, Scott.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chucky, for being here and keeping your drug addiction in check. That's a joke. Mm-hmm. He's not a drug addict.
Next time I'll take a little small piece of chocolate. I have
he
to
likes his chocolate and
concentrate. So
Well, we're at 156.37 Longhorns. I figure pre 2 hours is pretty good. You know.
I would have had to have gone anyway because I have to do this order. So
Oh.
right now, but I wouldn't be able to stay on like for 4 hours.
Uh-huh. Huh.
I think 2 hours is a good time. But if we're having fun, it's good to let it roll.
I guess.
How long was I on when I was high the first time when I had
Two
like?
hours because I cut it short.
Oh, okay. Did I?
I like 2 hours, but even 2 hours is a little bit too long. It depends.
Mhm,
You know, really depends on the vibe of the stream.
mhm. By the
Two
way,
hours
I
is good.
think
90 minutes is good.
in the winter time, so you don't get so hot, I think you should try to do a stream outside every day during the winter.
Yeah, well, in the winter maybe, but in the
Yeah.
summer you forget
No,
about it. It ain't
no,
gonna happen.
no, it's too hot.
Let's see how hot it is right now.
I
How's it
I
changed?
think everyone should trip quad. People should donate to you quadruple or when you're outside because it's so hot when you're outside for a
Listen,
long
I
time.
can tell you something though, Chuck. All right, thank you for plugging that. But I will tell you something. Nobody cares. Most of the time, nobody gives a shit how much effort you put in for something. That goes for if you take a great photo and you had to hang by your nuts upside down, and you know you only have 2 minutes to take the shot, and then you're in a coma for the next hour, because your brain doesn't have any blood in it. Or you get kicked in the head because you're on the ring apron and some guy jumps up to kick the fighter and the guy moves out of the way and you just happen to be in the wrong place, but you get a fantastic shot. Nobody cares about that. The bottom line is you either put out a good product or you don't. People
Mm-hmm.
donate because they want to donate. They don't donate because they don't want to donate. Simple as that. I'm long past thinking about the who's and whys and where's and whatever. It's just a matter of some people will, some people won't. Some girls do, and some girls don't. You know what I mean? Like some put out on the first date and some don't. So
I
anyway,
knew I knew a guy in the 80s. He'd go approach women and he'd say, "I want to f you, yes or no. Tell me within 20 seconds."
there you go. All
And
right,
some
listen.
would say yes.
I gotta go. I got 30 seconds. I want to be under 2 minutes because I'm going to hear Longhorn shit. If I'm not, thank you very much. Leave a thumbs up. Thank you, Chucky. Goodbye. Subscribe and talk to you guys later. See ya. See ya. See ya.
Cool.